All right, what is up, takers, and welcome back. Oh, excuse me, I feel like I'm losing my voice. Welcome back to Tides Take Today Live. We do this each and every Thursday and Sunday. Hard to believe that we're already back at Sunday. We gave you guys a bonus interview yesterday. So, for those of you that don't know, we do this, like I said, every Thursday and Sunday. And then, of course, if you haven't already, be sure to follow us on all social media, facebook.com/at It's Tides Take Today. Go ahead and, of course, follow us on Instagram as well at It's Ties Take Today. I'm telling you all, we try to keep it real simple and easy for you so you don't have to remember much. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube to see past episodes and to see what episodes are currently coming in the near future. And then, of course, if you're old school and you're just looking for something to read and you want to increase our views on the website, tiestaketoday.com. That being said, joining us tonight, we're talking to actor, singer, entertainer, activist Andre Bellos about his journey in the entertainment industry and how he got started. And then we are also going to be talking to health, wellness, personal trainer, fitness model Shane Greer about his journey as well. So give me just a moment. I'm playing producer and host as always. And then if you guys are interested in chiming in and sharing your take and perspective, you guys can also share your take in the comments. Live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. I need to get this beard together because it's looking crazy. But anyways, so if you guys have any questions for me, for our guest tonight, or if you just want to let us know where you're watching, you can do so in the comments on Facebook and YouTube as well. That being said, let me go ahead and pop this banner off and welcome our first guest to the virtual stage. This is Andre Bellos.
Hey, what's up, Ty? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, it's live, right? We're live. We're doing the thing. So I really just want to take some time to introduce you to our takers, to our audience, and talk about how you got started in your journey and really what projects you're currently working on, those that you can discuss. And I know you grew up in Chicago in like a blended household. So I want to talk a little bit about your cultural background and and how that influenced your passion for the arts and kind of shaped and molded who you are today.
Yeah, I grew up in a blended family. I'm half Greek and half Salvadorian. There was five of us, so it was always hard getting my family's attention. My dad was married twice, so he had two kids with his first wife and then three with my mom. And I always wanted to be in the entertainment business. I was always an attention seeker, and I just thought being famous would solve all my problems. So really, a lot of it just started as my own coping mechanism as a kid and just living in my own world and my own fantasy. And I got a lot of pleasure and joy out of it. So as I got older and became an adult, I thought I might really want to do this as a career. And I just began to pursue it. And I'm just grateful that I'm still around, and I'm just grateful that I'm still able to pursue it.
Absolutely. And then if I did my research correct, you started off at a really extremely young age, 13, right? And
Yeah.
it was kind of in the modeling sector of the industry. What was that like, being a model and getting into modeling at such a young age? And, did you experience any challenges or obstacles, and how did you overcome those obstacles?
You know what? I always wanted to be in the entertainment business. I was super excited to go to modeling school, Barbizon, and audition for IMTA. Um, but for whatever reason, it didn't connect at that time. The timing, I think, just wasn't right. Also, I think a big part of having a career in the entertainment business is having some sort of older mentor. My parents really did not believe in the entertainment business. They were immigrants and they believed in hard work, going to school and getting a regular job and doing the darn thing. So they weren't too keen on me pursuing a career in the entertainment industry.
Absolutely. And I know, even at one point in your journey, you decided to step away from college to pursue your career and talents full time. What was that decision like? And I'm sure was there backlash associated with that from like your family and friends? And, did you ever have doubts that maybe you weren't making the best decision in that moment?
Of course. I mean, I dropped out of college to pursue my career as an actor, and all my friends and family told me I was crazy and I was making the wrong decision. And of course, that started to play on my confidence. And to a certain extent, I did start to believe that maybe I had made the wrong decision. But, in the long run, it ended up working out for me. And I'm grateful that I stuck to my guns and I bet on myself. That's something I usually do. I always bet on myself.
Absolutely. And some of our audience and some of your followers may even know you from major shows. I'm talking like Empire and Chirac. What was the breakthrough moment for you when you realized, like, when you fully felt like, I'm doing the damn thing and this is
Hmm.
passion.
Um, I don't know if I've reached that point where I feel like I'm really in it. I still feel like I'm trying to break into the entertainment business. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that I felt that yet, and I think it will come in time. Um, to answer your question, like, do I feel like I've made it? Um, no, I don't, because I just think there's so much more to do, and um, my vision of what I picture my career to look like. I don't think I'm there yet,
Absolutely. I completely
but I'm
understand.
grateful. I'm grateful for all my experiences, and I'm in the union now. I'm a SAG-AFTRA actor, so that definitely is a cool moment because that's been my life's work. I'm 37 years old, so all these years up until now trying to break into the union.
Absolutely. And like you said, have done some amazing, incredible things and been able to experience different areas of the industry, but still, manifesting future projects and greatness as well.
Of
Um,
course.
Working with legendary directors, I have to name drop like Spike Lee and Lee Daniels. Has there been any major lessons you've learned since you've been blessed and fortunate to have these experiences on set, or
Yeah, I think a lesson I'm still learning is to just calm down and go with the flow. There's no reason to be so temperamental, and there's no reason to force it. It's going to happen anyways, and it's better to just let things unfold on their own time. You can't compete with destiny.
Absolutely. And I want to talk a little bit, if you can talk a little bit more about your role. You had the opportunity to play Billy Coburn on Chicago Justice, and I believe we're gonna show a little of your demo reel later on in our conversation. But can you tell us a little bit about that character and what that role was like for you?
Yeah, that was super exciting. That was like my first time being on national television, and it was just a couple lines, but I was so proud of it. I was hired to be an extra on Chicago Justice, and I got pulled out of the background to deliver a line, and it turned into being cast as Billy Coburn on Chicago Justice. I really give NBC and Dick Wolf huge credit for discovering me, and I'm just so grateful to be living my dreams. I always wanted to be an actor, so this is just like so cool.
Absolutely. And I want to talk, you're a big advocate for various mental health matters and different topics. You actually founded Do the Right Thing, which is an initiative focused on supporting nonprofits. What really inspired you to launch that initiative, and what impacts have you seen thus far? I know you're very hands-on and involved in different communities and volunteering and giving back. So what has that been like for you? And, can you talk a little bit more about that initiative?
Yeah, absolutely. Do the Right Thing is an independent initiative I started in 2017. I travel state to state volunteering at different non for profits. I'm looking to take it overseas. My new dream is to become a humanitarian philanthropist one day. And I just want to help underserved and underprivileged people. I understand how privileged I am and how privileged I grew up. And I just want to pay it forward and give back. And yeah, I am very hands on. So thank you for saying that, Ty.
Absolutely. That being said, I have more questions to ask you. So, you guys that are watching live, don't go away. But we're actually going to roll a clip of Andre's latest demo reel. So, let's go ahead and share that with you all momentarily.
Okay, Lucas, we got you. I need an X-ray. Single GSW. I can't breathe. Yeah, just stay with us. We gotta get this bleed under control. How's the pendejo gonna visit?
You ever see that old TV show? Star something? Star Trek.
No.
Well, they got this machine. Scrambles you all up, transports you where you want to go.
We could use one of those.
the hell is that?
Maybe it's a rat. They love this place.
That would be one big rat. I look like a garbage man to you? I'll do the cutting. You haul the crap out.
We ain't got time for that. And Lucas is skinny.
I got the report. All we could find on Jane Reynolds.
Thanks, Billy.
All right, so that was just a little preview of some of your work, but I want to talk about more about those issues that matter to you. We talk a lot about representation in media, and I actually just interviewed a author my last episode, and we talked about how important it is to have representation when it comes to Hollywood, whether that's film, TV, movies, books. What changes would you like to see in the industry? And before you get to that question, I of course have to show love to our friend Jazz, who is checking in and supporting. So Jazz is a part of the Taker family, and be sure to check her out. The Midday Live Show is coming back. So I'm just saying.
Love you, Jazz.
We definitely love Jazz. So I just wanted to let y'all show some love for Jazz. But yeah, I want to talk about, your thoughts on representation in the media in Hollywood and what changes you feel need to be made or addressed.
Yeah, I think we've definitely come a long way. I think things are definitely getting better, and I'm grateful for all those that came before me and paved the way. I think it's important that we see more representation of LGBTQ men and women with mental and physical disabilities, Black people, brown people, Hispanics, Asians, Indians. We just need more everyday people representing everyday people.
Absolutely. And I know we talked a little bit about your initiative and giving back to the community. And I know also that you've spoken previously about wanting to build homes and schools and clinics for especially underprivileged and underserved areas and communities. Are those still part of your dreams? And I know you said you want to go international and globally with your movement, but are those some of your dreams that you're looking to accomplish and achieve as well still?
Yeah, they definitely are. I would love to be like a talk show host one day, like the male version of Ellen or something. Having a production company supporting me would be a great help in fulfilling, I guess, my own prophecy of, helping underserved and underprivileged in a way that I deem like a standard in terms of like building schools and building clinics and things like that. That's not an easy thing. That's extremely expensive. It takes a lot of manpower. You have to work with the government on it, not just national, but local. It's really no joke. So I really would love one day to have a talk show that is focused around helping people get back on their feet,
Absolutely. I think that was like one of my favorite things about when Nick Cannon had his show for a little while. There was always like a feel good, and shout outs to Wendy, and Sherry Shepherd is
Free
doing
Wendy.
it. Exactly. So I feel like having a talk show, I could definitely see that for you for sure. I want to talk a little bit about modeling in the fashion industry. You've had features in Vogue, People magazine. You've built this incredibly strong brand. So my question for you is, how do you balance being an actor, being an activist, being a model? Like, doesn't that get overwhelming?
It does get overwhelming. I don't look at it like that, but it does get overwhelming. It's a lot of work. And I think I'm just at a point in my life where I just have to pick like what serves me and, don't pick what no longer does. But I don't look at it like that. I just look at it like I'm an entertainer. This is what I'm supposed to do. It's what I'm born to do. And it's just an innate ability that I just do without thinking. So I don't even, for whatever reason, I just don't even look at it like that. It's just like my nature,
Absolutely. And, for those out there that may be interested in pursuing a career or, throwing their name into the entertainment fields, what advice would you give to them? And, any drops of wisdom would you give to those out there that may be interested in pursuing a career in our fields?
I would say first and foremost, make sure you have a real passion for it, because there's going to be good days and bad days. And if you have a real passion for it, you'll keep going. School comes first. You have to listen to your mom and dad, and you really have to have your family to back you up. The entertainers that I've seen become really successful were ones that had their families near them or some sort of mentor. You don't want to get taken advantage of. And it's called show business for a reason. It's not just show, it's not just about looking beautiful and having talent. You have to stay on top of your game and you have to learn the business. And I think that's something that I've really struggled with because I dropped out of college. So learning the business has been a challenge, but it's nothing but something to do.
Absolutely. I think that's vital. Knowing, having your hands and having a knowledge and an interpretation of all areas.
And
of
at the end of
industry.
the day, nobody knows what you're truly capable of. So why not follow your dreams?
Absolutely. Speaking of following your dreams, Andre, perfect segue. What is a dream role or project that you're still hoping to tackle and accomplish?
I would love to work for Marvel. I would love to be like a superhero, have like an action figure. That'd be such a little kid dream of mine coming true.
Absolutely. And we talked about, you're all about positivity and uplifting people. If you could leave the world with one message, what would it be? Or what would you like your legacy to be, your imprint on the world?
When I'm long gone, I want people to say things about me like, God, he inspired me to go after my dreams because I saw him go after his.
Absolutely. I think that is so important to make a true lasting impact and difference. Before you get out of here, I actually we do this with all our guests, and if you're down to play, it's a quick game of rapid fire. So basically, for those of you that are new to the show, it's just a couple quick, fun, random questions that we don't send ahead of time to our guests. So I mean, you never know what I might ask, but if you're down to play, let's go ahead and I think we should play. And then if you're also watching online, you can also play along too and share your answers, and we'll pop them up on the screen as well. So let me just check the comments. I love it. Jazz said she can totally see you hosting a talk show. So once again, shout outs to Jazz in the Midday Live.
Love you, Jazz.
As always, #1 supporter, and I know they're coming back with their podcast, I think this coming week, but don't quote me. She'll correct me if I'm wrong. So shout outs to Jazz, and yeah, let's go ahead and play rapid fire. Andre, if you could have dinner with any 3 celebrities, dead or alive, who would they be?
Michael Jackson, Sierra, Calvin Klein.
Okay, you said Michael Jackson, Sierra, and Calvin Klein.
Yes.
Yes, I want to meet Sierra so bad. What is one song that always gets you hyped no matter what?
Oh, that song from Glorilla.
Yeah.
Said they get money, but I can't. Yeah, glow, samba little hell, so yeah, glow, da 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 da. Yeah, that's my ish. Oh.
And I know you said earlier we talked a little bit about Marvel. If you could play any superhero in a movie, who would you choose?
I don't know. Maybe like a Batman or something.
Absolutely. And then what is the most random or unexpected talent you have?
I can dance while running at on the treadmill at the same time.
That just sounds dangerous. Me even getting on the treadmill is a step in the right direction. So more power to you. If you had a theme song, what would it be?
Lose Yourself by Eminem, 8 Mile.
Hey, Detroit. Yes, represent. And then what is your go-to guilty pleasure TV show or movie?
Love and Hip Hop.
Okay, I haven't gotten into Love and Hip Hop. I have recently got into Real Housewives of Potomac, and that is my show. I keep saying it on every episode.
Or Baddies.
See, I haven't started that one yet either. I also
Me too.
Love and Marriage Detroit is where it's at too. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just now getting into the reality messiness, but I'm here for it in small micro doses.
Okay.
And then lastly, if you could switch lives with any actor for a day, who would it be and why?
I don't know if I would because I love my life, but I think if I would want to switch places with anybody, oh God, um, Eddie Redmayne.
Okay, I'm not gonna hold you. I don't know who that is.
Sorry to this man. I don't know this man.
I'm gonna have
That's
to.
okay. Look him up, Google him. Eddie Redmayne. He's dope. Great fashion, A-list actor. Cool guy.
For sure. I most definitely will. Andre, thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead and let everybody know where to follow you online, and where they can connect with you on future to see everything that's going on.
Check me out on my official website. It's andrebellos.com, just one word, ANDREBELLOS. All my social media sites are on there. I'm on all of them: Facebook, Instagram, X, Snapchat, TikTok. Follow me. I'll follow you back. Love you guys. Thank you, Jazz. And thank you, Ty, so much for sharing the platform. I'm so grateful. Thank you for all that you do. And thank you for building this bridge from Detroit to Chicago and many more bridges to come. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Andre Bellos. We'll be sure to put all of your social media in the description of this video as well. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I hope to talk to you again about upcoming projects in the near future as well.
Bye.
All right, you guys are watching Ty's Take Today Live. Like I said, if you guys are watching on Facebook and YouTube, be sure to show us some love with some comments. We got Jazz checking in from the Midday Live show, and she did get me together. April 4th, season 5 coming soon for the Midday Live show. So be sure to check them out. Follow Jazz. She's incredible. You've seen her guest co-host our show. She's the queen of karaoke, so need I say more? That being said, we're going to go ahead and add our next guest to the virtual platform. This is Shane Green. So he's the CEO of SAG Events, West Haven model, personal trainer, health and wellness, and director of health and wellness for Project Bricks Inc. So I'm going to go ahead and add Shane to the stage. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I really just want to take a moment to introduce you to our audience and, kind of talk about what inspired you to get into the fitness industry, both as a model and a fitness expert and trainer.
Yeah. Funny fact. Since I was a kid, I always worked out. I wanted to impress the ladies, so I was always doing push-ups and lifting weights. And it kind of carried on to me as an adult. I lost my father at a very young age because of his health conditions and the choice of food that he ate. So it kind of pushed me into that realm, and it kind of motivated me to want to work with other people. And as far as fitness modeling, I wasn't always into that. I actually got into just modeling in general. And as my career, went up, I kind of pushed me into doing fitness modeling because it went hand in hand with my fitness career.
Absolutely. And I know you talked about your father. My condolences, of course, to you and your family. Are there any people just overall in life that has inspired you to pursue your dreams? I know you've got your hands in a variety of different projects. Any inspirations or people that have really influenced or kind of helped shape who you are as a person today?
My father, for one, and my mother. My mother has always pushed and strived to become the best version of herself. She is the first African American woman to be appointed orphan court in the state of Maryland. And it's all because of her strides and just kept going and going and going, and never allowing people to take no to her. And she would just break them doors down. And since I was a little kid, seeing that, it motivated me to do the same.
Absolutely. And, as someone with over a decade of experience in fitness, how have you firsthand seen the industry evolve since you first started your journey?
In my generation, not much. I'm seeing a lot of decrease in people wanting to go to the gym, and then some that wants to go to the gym, but for the wrong reasons. But it hasn't really changed too much.
Absolutely. And I was segueing into my next question, which was, what are some common misconceptions people have about personal training and fitness? Any trends that you've seen with different clients?
Everybody comes and thinks that they can get the best body in a week. They just come in there and they put in the work and they just believe that they can get that perfect body that they want for whatever reason in a week. And it doesn't work like that. Everything in life, you got to be consistent and working with it, and eventually you will get there.
Absolutely. And I know we have some visuals that we're going to show on the screen, but can you talk a little bit about, Shane the trainer and some of the services and services that you offer for fitness clients?
Yes, I do boot camps, fitness classes, one-on-one. I also do seminars, which is connected to Project Briggs and a little bit of SAG Entertainment. I'm also a certified life coach. So, when people go through mental health things, I tend to help them the best way I can, pushing them forward. I'm not a psychiatrist. They talk about your present, your past, and your future. My job is to help you in your present, reaching you to your future.
Absolutely. And I know we're showing some of the comments, people are checking in. Anaya, I believe, I hope I'm pronouncing all of these names correctly. Erwin, and I come before you too. Pastor Aaron Best, Eugene, Anaya again. So you have a lot of people in the comments, but this we're gonna go ahead and show you guys actually a clip of a small clip of one of your fitness meetups, and just watching this made me exhausted. So me in the gym is forthcoming, but let me go ahead and share that video with you all, and then we'll continue our conversation if that's cool.
Right behind you, love. Got this, brother. Keep it going. Keep it going. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, so like I said, I'm exhausted from just watching it and looking at all of the equipment and thinking to myself, I told myself I was going to be hitting the gym months ago. So shifting gears a little bit, I do want to talk a little bit more about SAG Entertainment and that unique venture. We talked a little bit about your fitness journey. What led you to launch that event planning company? And if people are interested in seeking your services to host different events, where can they connect with you, and what does that process look like?
Yeah, so the reason why I got into that career choice, in Baltimore, we don't have a lot of clubs and a lot of bars for the LGBT community. We always have to travel an hour and 30 minutes to go to DC. And at my age, I'm tired of that. So I kind of wanted to bring that avenue back to Baltimore. One of the inspirations for that was my cousin. He's one of the biggest party promoters in the straight world here in Baltimore. So I'm like, you know what? I want to be what you are for my community here in Baltimore. And it has its challenges, but it's getting there. It's getting there slowly but surely.
Absolutely. And we talked about representation earlier. I think it's just so important for, the communities that are overlooked or underserved to have that safety place and to have that place to go to. Shout outs to, I believe, Michelle said, so proud of you, son. The comments are trickling in throughout the conversation. For you, how do you balance running multiple businesses while maintaining your own fitness and wellness as well?
That is very challenging. Being a model, being a fitness coach, a life coach, entrepreneur overall is very challenging. When I get in the house from throwing my events, I shut down. Everything is quiet. I'm playing rain noises and thunderstorms and cover my eyes just to go to sleep. But I enjoy it. When I train people and just hearing their testimonies to me, it inspires me to keep going. I'm training people well in their 60s and they're putting in work better than a lot of 20-year-olds that I'm training. They in there and they just putting in that work, and just, after the class and just hearing them like saying thank you and what you do for me. And I, believe I couldn't do this and X, Y, and Z. it motivates me to just get up every day and do that. And as far as my events, just seeing them come out and enjoying themselves, and having that type of atmosphere back in Baltimore, it puts a smile on my face, and it's just overwhelming in a good way and a bad way. But like I said, the good, it keeps me going.
Absolutely. And I know you yourself are a stroke survivor and just an overall strong advocate for health awareness. Can you share with our audience a little bit more about your experience and what really you learned from living through that, you know?
So a lot of people to this day don't know that you can suffer in utero stroke. That's what happened with me. My mother had high blood pressure at the time, and I want to say that she was stressing at the time, and it caused me to have in utero stroke. Growing up, it was very challenging. I had to go to a place called Greer. I don't know if that's anywhere else, but in Baltimore, it helps kids with challenging, situations, ADD and stuff like that. So I had to go there every day. I know it was taxing on my mother, it was taxing on me. I felt very insecure. I felt less than. My self-esteem was low. I was put in special ed classes, couldn't sit with my friends. So it was very heartbreaking for me. And in I want to say my 12th grade year high school, I was told by the board of education that they want to put me on a certificate bound accomplishment, basically stating in my head that you tried your best, but I don't see you graduating. So that pushed me like, nah, I'm gonna do my best. I'm not gonna sign no nothing. And I graduated high school with a 4.0. I got my driver's license the same year. I took 2 college courses and got a 3.5 GPA. So it's challenging. I still have problems reading and spelling. A lot of people don't want me to read, and I kind of stride away from it, but I can't, motivate other people if I can't motivate myself. So
Absolutely. And congratulations. That's extremely powerful. It just goes to show you that you can be told by so many people that you're not going to be able to do this or you'll never be able to surpass this level or expectation, but then like to actually go out there and do that. So thank you for being vulnerable and sharing just a portion of your story and your experiences. For those out here, who may be recovering from serious health challenges or trying to rebuild their strength, what advice would you give to people out there that are watching this conversation right now?
seek help, reach out to your friends, reach out to your family. Somebody's always there to help you through it. You don't have to go through it alone. One of my biggest avenues is God, Great Spirit. I don't know who's spiritual, who religion, but going to God, going to Great Spirit, it's big. You don't always have to go to a church. I know sometimes it's overwhelming, especially for the people in the community that have been pushed away by certain religions. You don't always have to go to a church. You can do it in your own home. You can do it in your backyard. Open a Bible and read these scriptures. There's stories, about people back in the day that have gone through a lot of things that we've gone through. It's so many avenues that you can reach out to get that help.
Absolutely. And I know we talked about some of your experiences. You've also worked with the American Heart Association, and stroke awareness is, incredibly impactful and meaningful to you. If it was up to you, or just from your point in the industry and in those healthcare and fitness fields, what changes would you like to see when it comes to healthcare, fitness, resources?
Be more helpful. The hospital that my father went to when he had his stroke, they told my mother and they told us that there was nothing they could do. At the research that my mother delved into, she found out it was something that they could have done to clear out the blood clot and possibly save his life. And I just feel like the healthcare is just not what it needs to be. Everything's about money and politics, and they're not really saving us. And it falls into the fitness world too. A lot of trainers, they go in there and they just want to see the money. They don't see the impact they have on people. Sometimes, people are ashamed of themselves because of the way they look. They don't want to look at themselves in the mirror, without clothes on. And you just gotta help these people, help people helps people. That's my thing. And being a part of the heart association, me and my family have made majority of the hospitals in Maryland stroke certified because of the loss of my father. So I do look at his life was a sacrifice for the better good. Because of him, we now saved other people in the state of Maryland.
Absolutely, and continuing to use your experience and make a true impact in an improvement in the industry. Anaya said, "That's right. Never try and do it on your own. When you have people there who are willing to help you get through, a support system coupled with self motivation goes a long way." So I appreciate you guys chiming in with your thoughts and just having these open conversations. I think is definitely a step in the right direction. That's why we choose to have these types of conversations on our show. Shane, before we play a quick game of rapid fire, I do have to ask you, what does your daily fitness and wellness routine look like?
Whew.
That video was intense.
I typically go to the gym twice a day, in the morning and in the evening after I'm done with training my clients. If I don't make it in the morning, I go for walks, I go for hikes with my family. Typically cardio in the morning and weightlifting in the evening. Heavy weightlifting in the evening. My diet right now, it varies based off of my goals. Right now it's high carbs, high protein, and low veggies. That helps me get to my body mass that I want to get to. I take a lot of natural supplements like turmeric, sea moss, ashwagandha, honey goat weed, and stuff like that. That comes from the earth. I try to stay away from drugs that are made for man because they're not meant to heal; they're meant to suppress. I'm not saying whatever your doctor prescribes you don't take it. I'm not saying that, but typically those drugs they don't heal you. They're just meant to suppress you so you can keep coming back to those drugs and making the money. But what comes from the earth, it heals because it comes from God.
Absolutely. I think, like you said, not saying negating what medical professionals are saying, but also saying be informed, do your own research, know that there are natural options and remedies that work equally to the medicines and prescriptions that were prescribed at times. Michelle said he even takes his 8-year-old nephew to the gym. So starting them off early for sure. That's sad. If the 8-year-old can be in the gym, I promise you, my next interview, I'm gonna be in the gym. That's sad. That makes me feel real bad about myself. So a quick game of rapid fire. Like I said earlier, for those that are chiming in, if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, you guys can watch live and share your answers to the questions. But basically 7 random fun rapid fire questions that we don't send our guests ahead of time. Shane, if you're down to play, morning workout or late night grind?
Late night.
What is your go-to cheat meal?
Blueberry Pop-Tarts.
The Pop-Tarts. If you could train with any celebrity, who would it be? Or if you could train any celebrity, who would you train?
I think he's a YouTube celebrity in the fitness realm, but Simi and Panda.
Okay. And you would just want to train with him, or you would want to train him?
Train with him. I don't think there's nothing I can help him with.
And then your favorite hype song in the gym right now?
That would be that's very Bepa. It's a African song, but Bepa.
Okay, I'm gonna have to listen to it after this live. What is one fitness trend you think just needs to simply go?
Going to the gym to get the body that you want, and then once you get it, you stop.
All right. If you weren't in fitness or event planning, what career do you think you'd be pursuing?
Police officer.
Okay. All right. And then, what is one word your clients would use to describe you? I know somebody in the chat said that when it comes to the gym, that you kill them with love.
I do.
Damon Allison. So how would your clients describe you in one word?
Inspirational, mean with love, and encouraging.
Absolutely. And Shane, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us and sharing just a little bit of your journey. Go ahead and let everybody know. I know we have it scrolling on the bottom of the screen, but let everybody know where they can connect with you, follow you, contact you if they're interested in starting to work out, if they're in your area, all of your social media, of course, let them know where to find you at.
Yes, you can follow me. My main page, which is my modeling page, at Shane A. Greer. My Twitter, X, whatever they call it nowadays, and TikTok and Snapchat is the same. If you want to follow my fitness, that is Shane_the trainer. And if you want to follow my event for any upcoming events in Baltimore, that is SAG Entertainment.
Okay, and that's SAG Entertainment on Instagram.
Yes.
All right, perfect. All right, so once again, Shane, thank you so much for joining us. There you guys have it. We're going to be sure to include all of your social medias in the description of this video as well. Comments still pouring in. Okay, Officer Greer. People are chiming in about the blueberry Pop-Tarts and all the things. So I appreciate you again, Shane, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. You as well.
Absolutely. Once again, that was Shane Greer, and that's going to do it for tonight's episode of Ties Take Today Live. Be sure to continue to follow us, share, repost, re-X, all the things on social media at It's Ties Take Today. And we're going to go ahead and close it out. But I do want to say thank you again to Shane Greer, Andre Bellos, and then, of course, I am continuing to dedicate all of my episodes to my beautiful mom, who I cannot wait to show her all of these episodes when she's finally healed and recovered. So from me, my mom, and our entire family, I just want to say thank you all from the bottom of our hearts, as God continues to watch over us and protect us. And I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that's been checking in on us and making sure that, given the circumstances, we are doing our best to remain strong. So with that being said, that's going to do it for this episode of Ties Take Today. Shout outs to all the people that chimed in with their thoughts and interacted with us during tonight's episode. One more time, facebook.com/@itsTiesTakeToday, Instagram @itsTiesTakeToday. And then, of course, as we're continuing to grow our YouTube audience, introducing more people and more creatives to each other, connecting one another, uplifting one another, and striving for sponsorships, collaborations, and partnerships. So if you're a local business owner, if you're making a difference, or if you just simply want to share your story and your journey to help inspire one another and uplift us, be sure to hit us up on any of our social media platforms. And if you have a story idea or you're interested in being featured on a future episode, like I said, send us a DM, email us at tiestaketodaypodcast@gmail.com. And we'll be back this coming Thursday. Thank you as well. I see you. I come before you too. I'm about to definitely make sure we follow each other back on, or subscribe to each other on YouTube. I appreciate you. It said you did a great job interviewing. I try. But that's going to do it for tonight's episode. Like I said, I'm so grateful for all of you, and we'll be back on Thursday.